This is a video about 8th grade by Bo Burnham. 8th grade is a movie about a teenager during their last week of middle school. They don't know who they really are, so they try and follow the crowd and do whatever is cool at the time, frequently posting disingenuous things on social media which don't accurately represent who they are. They spend a lot of their free time making YouTube videos on the internet expressing themselves while sitting quietly in the corner at school with few friends and an inactive social life. Wait a minute.
Hello everyone, this is MML, and this is the first time you've heard my voice because all the other times I've been playing classical music on the piano. This is my blog, it's MML's OPC, which means Opinions, Predictions, and Criticisms. I'm gonna video record this and probably get it on the YouTube, and you will be able to watch it.
Let's start this again. This is a video about 8th grade by Bo Burnham. 8th grade is a movie about a teenager during their last week of middle school. They're a single child with no siblings and primarily live with one parent while the other— Wait! Okay. This is a video about 8th grade by Bo Burnham. I was first introduced to Bo Burnham in college and related heavily to a lot of the subject matter in his stand-up specials. His acts focused heavily on self-aware, fourth-wall-breaking humor that made audiences very aware of his role as an entertainer and the audience's role as, well, the audience. He frequently made fun of these roles, arguing that his role as an entertainer gives him a platform that he arguably doesn't deserve. If Bo had worked his butt off grinding his way through low-level comedy circuits to get to his position, then his material would likely be very different. But Bo is a product of the social media machine, releasing videos on YouTube in its infancy and quickly gaining a massive following. His first video was released in 2006, and his first full-length comedy special, Words, was released only a short 4 years later. For someone who was launched into stardom that quickly, Bo needed to be incredibly talented, which he was. But the success of someone like Bo Burnham begs the question of how many other Bo Burnhams are out there that we simply just don't know about. How many people are out there that think, or perhaps even know that they have what it takes to make something great, but just didn't get that lucky break and are sitting there with just over 1,000— Damn it! Okay, let's try this one more time. This is a video about 8th grade by Bo Burnham. Despite what you might think at first, 8th grade actually isn't a movie about a teenager during their last week of middle school. Well, it is, but it's also about something more than that. The first shot of the movie comes from Kayla's webcam, showing her giving advice about expressing yourself and being yourself. But there's a catch. The audience, both of the YouTube video she's filming and in the theater of the real world, knows that Kayla isn't heeding her own advice. Delivery ridden with ums and likes to the point of being somewhat irritating. Before truly meeting Kayla, we already know so much about Kayla. But that's not all this scene shows us. The critics might say that's what it does, and Bo himself might say that's what it does. But this hypocrisy exists in all of us, giving good advice to our friends and family which we ourselves fail to live by, denying people the opportunity to meet the real us by hiding behind a mask of supposed normalcy, and attempting to find our place in a real world that swears that everyone is special. In short, I don't believe social media is the real subject matter of 8th grade. Rather, social media is the stage for the insecurity and hypocrisy that exists everywhere and always has existed everywhere. We see this best with Kayla's dad, a character who was not once seen using a computer or a mobile device, yet fails to articulate his real affection for his daughter in the same way she fails to articulate herself to others both on and offline. But we also see it with every other character in the movie, no matter how cool they may seem. The principal's awkward speeches and hard-to-watch dabs, moments which would be dismissed as a blooper or a bad take in any other movie, are included in 8th grade because they're representative of a subconscious desire on his part to appear cool and young. A more standard example comes with Kennedy, who reacts negatively to Kayla's birthday present for her, not because she didn't like it, but because her reaction had to be negative in order to impress the people around her. Even creepy high school boy Riley, who makes a move on Kayla in one of the most uncomfortable scenes in the entire movie, has a sheen of insecurity that's impossible to ignore as he tries to justify his undeniably abhorrent acts. And his friend Olivia, who Kayla looks up to and admires as being the confident high schooler she wants to be, constantly acts as if she's trying to impress Kayla instead of just being herself. It's not that Kayla is an awkward, insecure middle schooler. It's that everyone, regardless of age, is an awkward, insecure middle schooler. That's why— Wait. This is a video about— can't do this.
And it's like, well, aren't I always being myself? And like, yeah, for sure. But I'm reading these off paper. Okay. Being yourself is like not changing yourself to impress someone else. Cause like, being yourself can be hard. And like, the hard part about being yourself is that it's not always easy because, like, people suck and evil people exist. But you just gotta ignore them and like not care what they're saying. And everything will work out if you're just being yourself.
So what's the point of this video? No, seriously, because I mean, you watch video essays, right? You watch these videos and you're like, okay, I want to learn something. I want to be taught something, right? So what's the point? I couldn't even communicate what I wanted to say, right? Because the video stopped however many times now. I started and then I stopped and I started and then I stopped, and I was talking about Bo Burnham and then I stopped, and I started finally talking about the actual movie, and even then I couldn't even get all the way through. And now I'm out here in some random park. But, it isn't actually random because this does hold some personal significance to me. It felt appropriate to finish the video here as we talk about insecurity, because that's what this is about. The 8th grade is a movie about insecurity. The movie starts with however many ums and likes because she can't express herself in saying how to express yourself, right? But I think in that moment, when she was doing that, I think she was being more true to herself and expressing herself than at most other points in the movie. She's not confident, but she's being her true self. Because that's what everyone does. Everyone edits. Everyone, deletes things and reposts and all this different kind of stuff. That isn't just the internet. It's just in real life, it's harder to edit your posts. Because we all pre-script things before we say them. The whole video, all these false starts and everything, that was written in the script. The script's right here. There's a ton of false starts. There's even the deep breath written in here and another one. So like all of that was pretty much written into the script, right? But even now, right, first off, this is in the script too. But two, this isn't fully scripted or anything, but I'm thinking about what I'm going to say before I say it. That's something that everyone does. We all think about the things that we're going to say before we say it. We all script that. And then when we say something, and then we feel bad about it. And then we try and take it back. But people still remember. People still screenshot that in real life. I mean, they don't actually, unless they have a camera. I don't know. So, when Bo Burnham did his comedy specials, right, he was open about his own insecurity. And that was a lot of the subject matter of those comedy specials. But they were covered up in this sheen of production. This, like, nice, shiny, music and lighting and all this different kind of stuff and voices coming in and all this different kind of stuff. But it's weird because he's open about insecurity, but he's covering it up with more and more insecurities, right? So it felt kind of weird. Similar to this own video, right? I made a video where I couldn't even make a video. That's what this video is. 8th grade's the same way. Because 8th grade is a movie about a bunch of people not being able to function the way that they want to function. They all have regrets, they all make mistakes, they all try and look a certain way because they think that'll make them the way they want to look to other people. But it's hard. The real world is hard. But I think if we're more open about that, if we're more open about our insecurities, then maybe that'll be better. But I'm not sure. I'm really not. So, what's the point of this video? I don't know. But I guess this is me trying. When Kayla tried because she didn't have the best camera. She certainly didn't edit her stuff, right? And she didn't market herself well because she got 0 views, right? And that's representative not of Kayla's inability. It's that if she had that production and that better set and that better camera and edited her stuff and scripted her stuff and voiceovered and used B-roll and all this different kind of stuff, she probably would have more views. Probably. Maybe. More than the 1 or 2 or whatever she talked about at the beginning of the movie anyway. But it felt more genuine. It felt more real. So, Yeah, this is planned out. This isn't genuine, but it feels genuine enough. That's all I got. Gucci. Hey, so I realized that at the end of the videos, usually I cut to like an end bit and I do like the clap thing, but I didn't do an end bit for this one because it felt weird. So I'm just gonna clap 2 times right now, and we're just gonna call it a day. So, yeah.